Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game that has been around for nearly 5 decades, having been created in 1974. It allows people to get together to create worlds, adventures, and friendships while playing it. The latest edition is Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, or D&D 5e. In this edition, as well as others, there are several classes you can play as, each with a plethora of abilities to strengthen them. With each class, assumptions have been made about each one, both good and bad. In this series, I'll be going over each class in the 5th edition Player's Handbook to discuss the class and some positive characteristics about each one. Hey guys, it's Tario here, back for the next episode of Cover Your Class. Today we are covering Druids. Probably the most nature-based class there is, really reliant on magic. Probably a really famous druid is Keyleth from Critical Role, Campaign 1, right? Like, whenever I think of druids, I do think of Critical Role and Keyleth. That was Marisha Ray's character. They are very much about protecting nature and protecting the balance of 4 elements of air, earth, fire, and water. Right? Like I said, they're very much in magic. They are a spellcaster class. To start off, we got hit points. 1d8 per druid level. All of these are pretty much just whatever their hit die are plus constitution. So like at first level it's 8 plus con modifier. Then at higher levels it's a d8 plus your con modifier after level 1. For proficiencies, it's light armor, medium armor, shields. Druids do not wear armor or use shields that are made of metal, so that's something to keep in mind whenever you're playing a druid. And also clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, slings, and spears. They're proficient with the herbalism kit. Their saving throws are intelligence and wisdom. For skills, you can choose 2 from Arcana, Animal Handling, Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, Religion, and Survival. For equipment, you start off with a wooden shield or any simple weapon, a scimitar or any simple melee weapon, and leather, armor, an explorer's pack, and a druidic focus. You can speak Druidic, that is their secret language. You can write a message, and other druids with a successful DC 15 perception check can decipher it with magic. And I'm assuming it's the same for you. If you were to decipher it, you would need magic and a DC 15 perception check. But it's pretty cool that you get your own language, you know. For spellcasting, drawing on the divine essence of nature itself, you can cast spells to shape that essence at your will. Then it just goes over more like cantrips at first level, 2 cantrips of your choice from the druidic spell list. Then you get more at higher levels. So you need to prepare and cast spells, sacred plants and wood, all that good stuff. The druid table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your spell of first level and higher. To cast one of these druid spells, you must expend a spell slot of that level or higher. You regain all of your expended slots when you finish a long rest. You prepare the list of druid spells that are available for you to cast, choosing from your druid spell list. When you do so, choose a number of druid spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your druid level minimum of 1 spell. The spells must be of a level which you have spell slots. For example, if you are a 3rd level druid, you have 4 first levels and 2 second level slots. With a wisdom of 16, your list of prepared spells includes 6 spells of first and 4 second levels in any combination. If you prepare the first level spell Cure Wounds, you can cast it using a first level or second level spell slot. Casting the spell doesn't remove it from your list of prepared spells. You can also change your list of prepared spell slots when you finish a long rest. Preparing a new list for Druid spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list. So basically, you have to prepare spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your level. So it seems easy enough to understand. So, like if we go up here, it was saying at third level, you know, 4 first, 2 second with a wisdom 16, you can learn, or you can use, prepare up to 6 spells, right? So, it can be any combination of first and second level spells, so long as it's only 6. Similar thing at 4th level, where if your wisdom is still 16, you may know 1 additional second level, but you can only prepare up to 6, which means 1 spell will not be prepared. Spellcasting ability. Spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. Then your spell attack modifier is your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. Okay. Spellcasting focus. That's what your druidic focus is for. It's used for casting spells. Then we start getting to the more druidic specific side of things. Wild shape. Starting at 2nd level, you can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before. You can use this feature twice. You gain an expend when you finish a short or long rest. Your druid level determines the beast you can transform into, as shown at the beast shapes table right underneath. At 2nd level, for example, you can transform into a beast that has a challenge rating of torture or lower, that doesn't have flying or swimming speed. Then at 4th level, it's half with no flying speed, like a crocodile. Then at 8th level, it's maxi rating of 1, like a giant eagle. You can stay in a beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level, rounded down. You then revert to your normal form unless you expend another use of the feature. Okay, so like if you're level 2, you can do it for 1. If you're level 4, you can do it for 2 hours, you know, and so on and so forth. Then of course, with the shapes, there are rules where you get their stats, you assume beast's hit points, and when you revert back to normal, you then go to your hit points. You can't cast spells, and your ability to speak is kind of taken away. You retain the benefit of features from your class, race, or other source, and can use them if in the new form, if the new form is physically capable of doing so. Think if you're a Dragonborn Druid and you do this, you can still use your breath weapon, pretty much. Or dark vision as well, you know. Oh no, you cannot use dark vision, sorry. Then you choose whether the equipment falls to the ground or merges into your new form. Then there are druidic circles, right, that you choose from. In here, we're going to talk about the Circle of the Land and Circle of the Moon. You also get ability score improvements at levels 8, 12, 16, and 19. Timeless Body. Starting at 18th level, the primal magic that you wield causes you to age more slowly. For every 10 years that you pass, your body ages only 1 year, which is kinda cool, you know? So if you are one of the races that lives a long time, you're gonna just live that much longer, basically. Beast spells, beginning at 18th level. You can cast many of your druid spells in any shape you assume using Wild Shape. You can perform the somatic and verbal components of a druid spell while in beast shape, but you aren't able to provide material components. So long as you have that druidic focus, you can pretty much cast spells in your beast shape, so long as it is still with you, right? It's an archdruid. At 20th level, you can use your wild shape an unlimited number of times, which is pretty cool. Since at that point, like, so long as this, like, keeps going, you can keep doing stuff and keep shaping upwards. Then, the Druid circles. First up is Circles of the Land. The Circle of the Land is made up of mystics and sages who safeguard ancient knowledge and rites through the vast oral tradition. These druids meet within sacred circles of trees or standing stones to whisper primal, secret druidic. You get a bonus cantrip at 2nd level. You can learn one additional druid cantrip of your choice. Natural Recovery, starting at 2nd level. You can regain some of your magical energy by sitting in meditation and communing with nature. During a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less to half your druid level, rounded up. And none of the spell slots can be 6th level or higher. You can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. For example, if you are a 4th level druid, you can recover up to two levels worth of spell slots. You can recover either a 2nd level slot or 2 1st level slots, which is kind of cool. That gives you that option during a short rest to recover some spell slots, you know? It would be nice to see that in all the magic classes, or the spellcasting classes, then circle spells. Pretty much this is where you get magical spells at certain levels, depending on the land. So Arctic, you get Hold Person and Spike Growth at 3rd. At 5th level, you get Sleet Storm and Slow. At 7th, you get Freedom of Movement and Ice Storm. Then at 9th, you get Commune with Nature and Cone of Cold. Then for Coast, at 3rd level, Mirror Image and Misty Step. At 5th, Water Breathing and Water Walk. At 7th level, Control Water and Freedom of Movement. Then at 9th level, Conjure Elemental and Scrying. For Desert, at 3rd level, Blur and Silence. At 5th, Create Food and Water and Protection from Energy. At 7th, Blight and Hallucinatory Terrain. Then at 9th level, Insect Plague and Wall of Stone. For Forest, at 3rd level, you get Bark Skin and Spider Climb. At 5th, Call Lightning and Plant Growth. At 7th, Divination and Freedom of Movement. Then at 9th level, Commune with Nature and Tree Stride. Grassland. 3rd level, Invisibility and Pass Without a Trace. 5th is Daylight and Haste. For 7th, Divination and Freedom of Movement. Then at 9th level, Dream and Insect Plague. Then Mountain, 3rd level, Spider Climb and Spike Growth. 5th level, Lightning Bolt and Meld into Stone. 7th is Stone Shape and Stone Skin. The 9th is Pass Wall and Wall of Stone. For Swamp, at 3rd level, it's Darkness and Melf's Acid Arrow. 5th level is Waterwalk and Stinking Cloud. 7th level is Freedom of Movement and Locate Creature. Then 9th is Insect Plague and Scrying. Then the last one, Underdark, at 3rd level, Spider Climb and Web. At 5th, Gaseous Form and Stinking Cloud. At 7th, Greater Invisibility and Stone Shape. Then 9th level, Cloud Kill and Insect Plague. Then you get Lance Stride, starting at 6th level, moving through non-magical difficult terrain costs you no extra movement. You can also pass through non-magical plants without being slowed by them and without taking damage from them if they have thorns, spines, or similar hazards. In addition, you have advantage on saving throws against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement, such as those created by Entangling Spell. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nature's Ward. When you reach 10th level, you can't be charmed or frightened by the elementals or fae, and you are immune to poison and disease, which is pretty cool. since there are creatures like the Dryad who can charm you magically. So this is pretty cool for facing something like that, you know? Then Nature's Sanctuary. When you reach 14th level, creatures of the natural world sense your connection to nature and become hesitant to attack you. When a beast or plant creature attacks you, the creature must make a wisdom saving throw against your druid spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature must choose a different target or the attack automatically misses. On a successful save, the creature is immune to this effect for 24 hours. The creature is aware of this effect before it makes the attack against you. So that's pretty cool for kind of dodging some attacks, for living a little longer, you know? Then we got the Circle of the Moon. Druids of the Circle of the Moon are fierce guardians of the wild. Their order gathers under the full moon to share the news and trade warnings. They haunt the deepest parts of the wilderness, where they might go for weeks on end before crossing paths with another humanoid creature, let alone another druid. Okay. The first effect, Combat Wild Chip. When you choose this circle at 2nd level, you gain the ability to Wild Chip on your turn as a bonus action, rather than as an action. Additionally, while you're transformed by Wild Shape, you can use a bonus action to expend a spell slot to gain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expended. Okay. So, like, if you use a level 2, I'm assuming you can regain 2d8s. Then Circle Forms. The rights of your circle grant you the ability to transform into more dangerous animals. Starting at 2nd level, you can use your Wild Chip to transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as 1. You ignore the max CR column of the beast shape table, but must abide by the other limitations there. Starting at 6th level, you can transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your druid level, divided by 3 rounded down. Okay. Then Primal Strike. At 6th level, your attacks in beast form count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistances and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage, which is pretty cool that they're adding this, since it is magic that's putting you into this wild shape. Then Elemental Wild Shape. At 10th level, you can expend 2 uses of Wild Shape at the same time to transform into an Air Elemental, an Earth Elemental, a Fire Elemental, or a Water Elemental, which is pretty cool that they're giving you both animals and more elemental power. You know, since it does say that Druids want to protect the balance of the elements of water, earth, air, and fire, so that's pretty cool. 10,000 Forms. By 14th level, you have learned to use magic to alter your physical form in more subtle ways. You can cast the Alter Self spell at will, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure exactly what that does, but I'll probably add something right about now to explain what it does. So that has been Druid. I hope this helps you a little bit in kind of learning how Druids work and what they can do, because I know that hearing the abilities is can sometimes help you understand it better. You know, hearing it more than reading it. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay frosty, my friends.